Good evening, viewers, and welcome back to a new edition of My Minute Minute. Tonight we journey over to East Brunswick, New Jersey, where a local rabbi has been arrested in connection to an underage teen prostitution ring. Rabbi Aryeh Goodman, 35 years old, was recently found slapping his schmeckel onto a 17-year-old girl from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The sex date was arranged by Gabriella Cullen and Richard Ortiz, both Bronx, New York residents. Ortiz and Cullen illegally trafficked the young girl into the Garden State and filled the entire calendar of January with scheduled rape dates. These two neuron-lacking degenerates marketed their services to local corrupt politicians and gangbangers. Shortly after Raw Dog and Gabriella Cullen's colon, Ortiz proposed to expand their clientele to religious leaders. While attempts to reach out to the Pope and the Reverend Al Sharpton were declined, a young Jewish rabbi answered the call. Rabbi Aryeh Goodman, who has decades' experience in molesting young boys, was prepared to graduate to violating young girls. Goodman, who is far from a good man, was the director of the Chabad House of East Brunswick and formerly a camp counselor at Bice Menachem in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. To better bring us the scoop, we'll go live to Ren Logan, who is waiting patiently on scene in East Brunswick, New Jersey in this edition of Inappropriate Talks. Good afternoon, Ren. How goes it, good sir?
Yo, John. I just left the local gentleman's club, Torpedoes, where I just got the old strife polished clean off.
Good to hear. I hope you didn't put it on the company card.
The lap dance I paid out of my own pocket, but the VIP room charged directly to my minute account.
Good man. We'll just write it off the next business quarterly estimated tax filing. Anywho, what did you discover on Rabbi Rapist?
Well, John, after knocking politely on the front door of the Chabad house behind me, I was greeted with some friendly shaloms. Before I could even finish the Rabbi Goodman's name, the curly-haired bouncers yelled some Yiddish insults, and I simply responded Mazel Tov and bid them adieu.
Nice dismissal for those rude heebs. What else did you uncover?
After speaking with some of the neighboring business owners, I was told about Aryeh and his failing marriage. His wife, Ora Malka, desperately wanted to create a child, but Aryeh was unable to attain or maintain an erection strong enough to penetrate the hole in a religious traditional white sheet. He was only able to achieve partial penile tumescence, as simultaneously pursuing child porn. The moment his schmeckel made contact with his wife's knish, the sacred turtle returned to his shell, resulting in another failed conception. Goodman's schmeckel longed for an underage snatch, and later reached out to his Jewish, Russian, mafia brothers and Orthodox kidnapping gang associates to associate with his procreation of the Goodman family name.
I see. Quite the two-faced, rabid, raping rabbi.
Yes, old Goodman was far from a good man and repeatedly and regularly wrapped his wriggly ramrod for ripe rectal ramming with his title of the Rabid Rabbi Rapist.
Whoa, that's a mouthful. Now, I also see here that Rabbi Rapist and his wife, Ora, are currently on Oh, God damn it. Help me out here, Ren.
I think the word you're looking for is schlickis. They also created Chai Central Hebrew School, Kabla Blah Blah of Life Shabbat Minaya, and even free bar mitzvah lessons online. Shit, I'm sure I wouldn't even send any of my children there for any type of education. How about you?
I haven't spread my seed yet, Ren, but if I did, I sure as shit wouldn't enroll my tots to pursue an education with those Red Sea pedestrians at that corrupt East Brunswick Jewish Chabad dump. Now, I also see here that Aryeh Goodman began his rapey ways back in 2001. That sound about right?
Yes, that's when he held his reign at Camp Menachem as camp counselor. I've read the reports from the Pennsylvania State Police that whenever the young campers seeked help, old Goodman said a few words from the Torah and then proceeded to counsel the young campers with his shiny schmeckel. These practices were known about yet went unreported for over a decade until a brave victim spoke out.
Well, bless that young victim for speaking out against that rabbi in violation of the mitzvah. While many outsiders may see him as acting heroic and brave, the synagogue will likely observe the victim's actions of speaking out as non-kosher and tale-bearing.
Brave indeed, and right you are. I imagine the synagogue behind me made defense claims the young boys was wearing short shorts or some shit. I would bet my goddamn bottom dollar that the minions behind me hiding within those four walls are casting unethical spells and immortal witchcraft upon me and my soul.
Scary shit, Ren. And in 2013, Mr. Goodman was arrested and convicted for that crime. He was later required to complete sex offender training, which included maintaining a flaccid schmeckel while watching Disney Channel.
Yeah, I heard it took him multiple tries, but failed every time. He was also barred from working with children under the age of 18.
But isn't that the sole purpose of the East Brunswick Chabad, to teach children and teenagers the Torah? So that basically contradicts his entire punishment.
Yeah, the sneaky Shebrew's running this dump behind me cleverly hired Aryeh Goodman as a 10099 subcontractor to teach the Torah as a full-time substitute in place of a non-existent professor.
God damn it, that's
That's
clever.
scumbag.
Well, thank you so much for your in-depth report.
Not a problem, John. I've been Ren Logan reporting live from the Chabad Rape Center in East Brunswick, New Jersey. Back to you in the studio.
Now, as Ren mentioned, Aryeh Goodman is facing charges of the 2018 child trafficking incident, and because Goodman's Faja, Baruch Goodman, has connections with Rutgers University, a commercial necessity which continues to support the bustling community of New Brunswick and Middlesex County prosecutor Andrew Carey can expect a plethora of political hurdles until a successful prosecution of the child rapist. Aryeh Goodman, if you would like to speak your mind to institutions that employed Mr. Goodman throughout his rape days, be sure to reach out to either the Chabad House of East Brunswick, New Jersey, or the Menachem Camp in Pennsylvania. Now that's about all the dirt we could rake together for you this evening. Be sure to tune in next week for more news. As always, I've been John Edmunds. Good night.
Yes, Sean, I see here in his medical records that when Ferguson was a young tot, his mother neglected regularly feeding, and instead was providing the tea to the old family goat for little Ferguson to nibble on.
My Minute Minute, an Edmunds Production.